Good morning, team. Coming into the new hour here on Monday. Let me know you can hear me nice and clear in chat, and then we will go over the charts. All right, we'll go over the charts. So far, nice breakout, approaching the top Bollinger Band on the daily. Morning, Jeff. Morning, John. Morning, Mindful Matters. So unfortunately, so far, London, Asia had all the fun. All right, so we've been basing off flow zones. I missed this deep pullback, didn't come far enough down for me this morning, and we're just rallying higher off low volume. So unfortunately, for me right now, it looks like it's probably going to be a no trade day. Unless the market drastically changes. When we drift up off low volume like this without testing any key level on a higher time frame, right, this hourly chart, just a straight rip to the upside, very, very hard to think about getting involved in the market here. We're just drifting higher for that gap fill over and over. So the next level now on the NQ really isn't until 700, 720. And it's going to make it very, very hard to get involved. Very unfortunate, but not untypical. Not untypical. With bonds closed today, light volume, Asia London ran it up. They put a price increase on the chip name, so tech looking very strong. All of Mag 7 is green, and we are just drifting higher without many buying opportunities. Yes, can argue there are flags in here to play. But for me, I'm not buying this area here, all right? I really wanted to see retests, which it's not willing to give us today by the looks of it. So I'm just sat on my hands right now, unfortunately. This is the market sometimes, guys. When you come to the market and London and Asia want to have all the fun down here, down here, down here, I'm not going to be participating as a buyer at the highs. Absolutely no way you're going to find me doing that. Good morning, Eva. Morning, Jeff. Morning, Mindful Matters. Ryan, Candy Cane, Michael, and Marek. So I'm a little frustrated seeing them do this nice squeeze up as ES comes into that 5,900 level right now. Maybe we get some form of retracement, but again, very hard to think about shorts here unless it's a counter trend rotation back inside. Very, very hard. These markets are difficult, all right, very typical of a market at all-time highs, just drifting higher because there's no supply to play against. Good morning, Persistent Pays. So I'm just going to sit on the hands here. If it offers something like an IB rotation, maybe potentially I'll think about it, but I'm really not expecting much. It just feels like we're in straight drift higher here. Anyone who got short trying to guess the tops got absolutely smoked. That hourly bar, we're now into a new hourly bar, and it's still basing at the highs of the last hourly bar. So we'll just have to be very, very patient and see if the market provides an opportunity today. We are in pro trend bullish. We're coming into the top of the Bollinger Band right here. We've filled this gap. If we take this off the adjustment, we have the next level up probably into about here, that's 700, 725, and from them we can think about extension into these old wicks if it's going to get there. I would love a short, but I'm not going to guess the top because I'm definitely not longing these areas. So let's see how ES reacts at this 5,900s. Popped through it once, came back inside. Very, very tricky. Just a clear channel up right now. Right, very clear channel. Buying continuation straight up here. Look at the book. Upside. Not many more upside targets. 700, there's a 30 lot, nothing major. 50 lot up at 750, but nothing really that big on the book. And the book has been thin. It's been very, very thin. VIX dancing in that old gap. All right, same levels as we were looking at last week. It's trading right now at the IB low of Friday. All right, so Monday, Tuesday, going to set our range for the week, and then we see what's what. If you watched my tweet over the weekend, I was expecting Monday, Tuesday to print high of week. One last big squeeze up, then maybe we get that pullback moment. But let's see what we get. Can't be guessing. That was just what I would like to see. So 5 minute coming back and testing its old wick into 50. ES failing after taking out 5,900. We have to see if this bullish momentum continues in this channel. We have another 25 minutes until that initial balance is set. So far we are just drifting higher. That's all we're doing, just drifting higher. Testing that channel right now. Yes, comfortably 5 points underneath its high right now. We've got to see if this M5 holds here. Is this a pullback to go higher? Or is this the start of a deeper sell-off? Definitely a straight squeeze up this morning. Into that M5 block. See if they're going to start letting this go now. Come and test some of the areas. But so far, if you're looking at this, looking at the M5, this is the last area we had bids right before that squeeze up. So yeah, you can probably sense it in my voice. I've got up early on this Monday probably to do absolutely nothing. It's always tough action when they do this overnight. And they seem to do it over and over and over and over again in the last few weeks. They've had all the fun overnight. So if you got this out the gate this morning, congratulations. It was a nice dip opportunity off the deep pullback. Starting to see some tapering. All right, we're starting to go slightly more sideways here. Have to be aware of traps today. To go higher, as we always talk about, the market will need to trap shorts. To go higher, it will need to trap shorts. Did any of you get that long out the gate? Did any of you play like the 1 minute opening range or something like that? Would have offered you that long. Even the 5 minute would have got it, to be honest. Starting to fail this channel now, but still holding flow zones, still holding structure for now. Right, this level right here is short-term structure, so got to be careful of a trap. Rejection can take us back down for potential gap fill. In and out candy cane, very nice. Very nice, Ryan. So you're long here, an out higher day. It's a nice move. VIX trading underneath its IBL that it set in on Friday. So into that gap. Remember, we said next level of that gap would be sort of 20 or 2015 from Friday. And if it fades under that, we're going to trade all the way back down to 1930s on the VIX. If we do that, the market is going to go on a tear to the upside. But I will tell you now, the market from a daily standpoint is extended into its top Bollinger Band. Doesn't mean it can't go higher. Many times it peaks out, all right, just above. But we will need the 5-day to start catching up and allow it room to trade upside. Exactly, Ryan. Yeah, on a day like today, if that's all you get, be happy with it. It's a decent trade that off that flag. Nice work. Watching the ES basing between 95 and 900, so 895 and 900. Can we get a deeper flush here? Starting to let go a little bit here on the Qs. ES still sort of holding, dancing around. Have to be careful of a trap here on the Qs. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. Not sure which yet. It's definitely using this liquidity here, like we said. This is the level, but if it catches it and goes back inside, it can be the trap to go higher. But we did just bang against some higher time frame levels and a psychological level of 5,900 on the ES. Range so far 140 points or 139 points in the IB. Still have time to extend it if it wants. They stay heavy against the 50s. Maybe we get that deeper pullback here on the Qs. So M5 imbalance up there. Just very aware of any potential trap here today. But we did bang against that higher time frame level. VIX still trading lower. All right, lower day again on the VIX here. Wants to go and test Friday's low day by the looks of it, which is interesting with the market pulling back. Tesla now red on the day. All right, so from SSR, remember we said it was SSR today. Yes, back to 95. Is this the trap to go higher on the Qs, or are they going to start letting it go? I'm trying a small short here, just a small position short here, just in case we get that waterfall moment. watching ES. If ES doesn't let go and VIX keeps trending down, I'm going to take the runner off here. I'm taking this off. I can always re-enter. So locked in about $750 on that trade across the accounts. Starting to let go. I really want to see for confirmation a real clear failure and lower low, and then we can close this here. If this is just going to reclaim this level, I'm going to be very, very cautious, especially with the VIX trading to low of day. Yes, possibly just doing an M5, M10 kind of flag up here at high of day. So got to be careful here. So see money, take money. Maybe back towards this 50% deep pullback zone where we did that first flag earlier. Filling an M5 imbalance here. Down to 608. Psychological level will be 600. ES holding on really, really well here. VIX approaching low of day. I'm going to be not really interested in this short here on NQ right now. We've got major, major divergence in the market. Not very nice seeing this. So we've had this the last 3 or 4 days. NQ coming to test Friday's low now. VIX coming to test Friday's low while the NQ is drifting lower. It's not what you want to see with ES holding high of day. I missed out on another 10 points here already, but very, very tricky market conditions with that divergence. We talked about it last week. I talked about it on Twitter at the weekend. It's flushing with the VIX heading to lows. Very, very tricky. Here we go. So big squeeze out has finished, unwinding this position currently. So this morning, this grind up, nothing more than a squeeze. And they're unwinding. So where can we come back to? We can come back to point of origin, which would be right down here. You can also think about a fib, right, from the low of day to high of day on the New York session, coming back into the 61. So do they scoop this still to run back higher? Low of day on VIX. Yes, just basing out really well on a 5-minute chart here. Range basically from 92 up to 900. That's your range. Underneath 92, it can get a snap down towards 88. Probably going to wait for a new 5-minute bar here. Wait another minute and see where we close here. ES still closing inside its range, NQ definitely not, VIX at lower day. So everything with big divergence right now. I'm interested to see how the VIX reacts at Friday's low of day. It's currently trading at 2019, low of day from Friday is 2014. So very close. Do they just flush it down deeper into that gap on VIX we've been looking at? If so, how are we going to trade the NQ? Because the NQ really shouldn't be drifting lower. They should be going risk on. Amazon now green to red on the day. So Amazon and Tesla green to red on the day. Nvidia comfortably green. All right, the chips are very strong today. I think it was JP Morgan gave it a 150 price target on Nvidia. Holding deep pullbacks for now. That deep pullback flow zone holding for now. So do we get a retracement back up towards the old range? So can we go from high of day to here, come back in at this level here? Do we see sellers come back in at this level? Or if we think about this from a structure point of view, failed underneath, can we retest? Do we find sellers here? That's the question. Or do they scoop it, run higher day? ES looking very strong here, building out a very nice flag. VIX coming in to that Friday low that we talked about. So 2016 is trading at now, Friday low is 2014, so you might as well call it 2015. So we'll see how they act there. If they really flush that, should give impetus for the ES to move higher. Remember, ES is at all-time highs. At 5,900.75 is all-time highs. There is nothing above it. Here's the test on the VIX. Literally tapping it. If VIX trades into that gap, ES should break out of all-time highs. Maybe NQ starts pushing back up. So you have to be very cautious here if you're thinking about short continuation, counter trend intraday. We have another 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes until the initial balance. Remember, the pro trend is higher, right? The easy move for the last few days has been higher. So VIX banging on that door right now. Can it snap, let go and trade into that gap? Can snap right down to 20 very quickly, psychological level. If it does that, expect ES to break out and push a new all-time high. Consolidation on the ES far stronger than we've seen on the NQ. All right, NQ needed to pull back much deeper, fill some of that 5-minute imbalance. Right here, filled this imbalance out. ES is just basing. So what we're thinking about on NQ, this little level here, how does it react? Does it do the inverse head and shoulders, or does it hold it as supply? So this is basically the level. Does it do this? Or does it do this and trade back down? Here goes ES, fresh approach, fresh attempt into 5,900. VIX still not quite broken down. It's got a double bottom right now. It's tapped that Friday low. The book very, very thin. Looking at the NQ, the next level I have is 700. It's the only real seller on the book today, up at 700. And it's still not very much size, only 66 contracts. So here goes the Qs into that level we just talked about. ES looking very good for a breakout here. Trading at 5,900.50. Looks very, very good for a breakout here on the ES. So this might have been the trap, all that they needed to do. Trade into the deep pullback. Break of trend now. Maybe now you get continuation. Definitely relative weakness on the Qs versus the ES. Right, ES are doing the equivalent of trading up here right now. Good morning, Scotty. So there's a sweep of the highs on ES. Can it get a extension higher? I'm going to just draw out a fib to think about where it might want to go. If the ES gets going, the next step would be 907s. And a measured move would be into 910 off this flag on the ES. If it's a sweep, I'm going to use VIX to show me, because right now VIX is still on that double bottom. It's holding Friday's low. So I would need to see VIX trade upside to think about this as a liquidity grab on the ES. Book is very, very thin, guys. The book is very thin. Not much on it today. Bonds are closed today, as a reminder. All right, so VIX now into that gap, taking out Friday's low. ES has taken out current day high. So far, sellers coming in off this level we just talked about, this level right here. They're trying to see if they can sell this. They would need a break of structure for a confirmation and then maybe view up. Remember, you've got the initial balance about to be set in 2 minutes time, which is very likely to just print this as the high. Doubt we extend through that before the initial balance is set. So Amazon back to green on the day. Canada day was good, buddy. I went to Soho House yesterday with friends. Ate far too much food. It was great. Didn't drink too much. Was quite well behaved. I hope all my fellow Canadians here, I hope you all had a good day. I've enjoyed celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving the last few years, sorry, with my Canadian friends. It's been great. Didn't have turkey though. I had lots of beef. Roast beef this weekend was good. Right, VIX still into that gap. So now the question is, does it flush down towards 20 flat, or does it reclaim after taking Friday's low? But just a slow, grindy kind of day here. See how this bar closes. So initial balance will be set right now. There you go, you see that purple line, it's your IB high and IB low. The IB low, I've got this red line in so I can remove it now. It was me printing the open. So we have divergence in case that ES is banging on the door of that IB high. VIX is trading a new low of day now underneath Friday's lows. So this looks more and more like a possible trap on the Qs that we talked about, going lower to potentially go higher. The easy trade will come above here, but remember, these are into gap fill areas. This is the hard thing right now, is you're not into all-time high territory on the Qs. You have lots of supply overhead. So you have to think about the daily charts. We're banging into the top Bollinger. We're banging into this underside range. And this is where we broke down from on that gap down day, into this area. So we're almost there. We're almost there. Just making sure my levels are accurate, sorry. Okay, so just the one trade for me so far today. Scalp trade short. VIX new lower day. ES new all-time high, banging on that IB high door. NQ's lagging behind, but tech has been strong today. Tech has been strong today. Tesla very close to going back green on the day here. Remember, Tesla is SSR. From Friday, Tesla is SSR. So we kind of expect that to bid up a little bit today, especially with the market being strong. Wouldn't really expect them to sell heavy, at least on an SSR day on Tesla. Much harder for them to get filled, especially when the market has been strong. So new all-time high here on ES, trading at 902.25. VIX coming back towards that 20 level we talked about. Honestly, I was not expecting much today, and we're not getting much. It was a really nice drive out the open. Unfortunately, didn't get a piece of that. I was really wanted a back test of a level today before trying to get long off that opening print on the lower volume, but so be it. It's gone without. Got a scalp trade short, and that's it. It's a bank holiday today for many people, so not expecting amazing moves in the market. I was actually expecting it just to consolidate rather than do that big drive up. But if we can do a pin high Monday, Tuesday, opens the door Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for some nice moves. Which is exactly what I posted about on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Exactly what I was expecting. High of week, Monday, Tuesday, ideally. So you can see the sellers and buyers battling in this area. Same area is here. So the question is, can they flag for retest of IB high? That's what they want to do. VIX still trading lower, fresh low of day on VIX. I really do expect this to really come and attempt to test up here. It just depends if these sellers are still present in this fib level. Right, tapping into that 61. Should have really already done it, right, with the ES approaching or basing above IBH, possible on the ES. VIX now trading at 20.06, so coming down to that 20 flat level we talked about. ES a little stutter here. Can it hold that old wick high for an extension up? Again, volume very, very low. Volume is very, very low, so please be careful if you're trading today. I'm just going to wait for something very clear and obvious here. Under 5892, so you're looking for a bull flag under 5892. That would be underneath that structure after it's already pushed, Scotty. And that bull flag's already played out from that level for me. If you get back underneath there, you'd have to be looking for a trap. Otherwise, you're looking for a retracement. Because for me personally, you'd be trading underneath the pivot on an M5 and inside the initial balance. Traps, yeah, trap there makes sense rather than bull flag. Yeah, trap low. Just slow grind here. You got to think in days like that, is there a reason for them to sell, you know? Unless we come into technical levels, is there a reason for them to sell anything? Low day here on VIX. So Mag 7 all green now, so Tesla back green on the day. Like I said, very hard to sell Tesla when it's SSR. Especially when the market is strong. We do have, sorry, very tight today. We do have divergence in the market. All right, VIX underneath its IBL, underneath Friday's low. ES above or on its IB high at all-time highs. NQ, neither of those. Just trading middle range, basing out. Not a whole lot of range to play with here on the Qs right now either. The last 5 minutes, very tight range. Honestly, it might be all we get today. That might be it. Michael K, every day only buying. Yeah, well, we're in a bullish market cycle right now. Higher time frame's been upside. So no reason to sell on a higher time frame right now, other than if you're selling into like taking profit. We're not in a sell cycle on the market, that's for sure. That can change very, very quickly. But if you look at monthly, weeklies, dailies, in a very, very nice buying cycle at the moment. The problem is, when we're at all-time highs and when we're gapping up and stuff, I don't like coming to the market trying to buy an all-time high or trying to buy a big 120 point gap up when we're sitting right at a top Bollinger Band. And that's the hardest thing right now in the market, is every day we're coming to the market for New York Open. We're either sitting into a key level or we're just doing a horrible dance, because Asia and London are having a lot of fun right now. But that's okay, that will change. It's just got to bear with it for a bit, it will change. We'll create some structure, we'll be able to get some nicer levels to play off, or the market will overextend itself and go into a sell cycle and have a bigger pullback, which might well happen later this week. Can only play what the market gives us. It's one of the big things when you come to the market and you have daily goals. If it doesn't give you an opportunity to get that goal, you must not force it. Boring session, eh? Pretty boring session. Unless you got that nice long this morning. That dip long this morning was probably the best one. Very hard to buy this though. Didn't come into an Asia range or anything like that, or a London range, just ripped. I was hoping we'd come back and test sort of 500 around that mark. Even VWAP 560. Would have been, oh, where was VWAP at the time? Yeah, 500. But just a really good push off it. So I was looking for 500. This here, top of London, previous day highs, VWAP, that would have been a potential buy for me. But we didn't get that. So we're just basing out here, potentially this move back towards IB high. If it rolls it, right, if ES fails and VIX finds a bid, if it rolls it, it's going to come back down towards these. But I kind of expect this to get taken. All the time ES is holding its IB high. If ES starts to fail its IB high, if VIX starts to find a bid somewhere at 20, maybe that changes. I don't look at the tick, no. I don't look at the tick and I don't really look at the ads. I look at the end of the day, just to see, and the breadth, but not during trading sessions. Yeah, I feel you, Ryan. I feel you. Yeah, well, 500's a good day, Stephen. It's not a bad day, so no need to force. New low of day on VIX here now, 20.04. It has slowed down into this 20 level, all right? ES is still just dancing around its IBH. It keeps back testing an old wick on the 5 minute, so basically 900 on the 5 minute. So 5,900 on ES. If it can hold here, it will create a new 5 minute flag over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, let's say. And it has the potential to extend higher if it stays above its IBH. Remember, it's trend day higher, probability above IBH. There is no long-term supply above it. If it fails and trades inside the IBH, then it can come and back test towards, let's say, 890. We would want to see VIX trade back upside for it to do that. And if we get that on the NQ, maybe we trade back towards VWAP. But right now, it's hard to justify a trade, right? These are sort of your internal pivots right now, and we are mid-range. So it's either going to flag and come up here, and then we can think about long continuation. If it's going to roll, maybe here. But we're in a low volume day. It's a bank holiday for many. Bonds are closed. Many traders not at the table today. I would happily take a short on this if I saw VIX printing higher and ES starting to fail, but I'm not seeing that. So I can't really justify anything, and we're in trend bullish. But if we're starting to break down here and here and here, and I could think about a wash there and then a runner here, I would take it, but I'm not seeing anything on the other markets to make me think that's going to happen right now. That can change. But now VIX trading at 20.02, so coming into that 20 flat level we talked about. ES is still at its initial balance high. The last 15 minutes on the ES, it is just basing out here with a potential flag setup for continuation higher. All the time it's above IBH, we expect continuation higher. And it's basing on that 5,900. It's a key level. There's the back test of 900 on ES. So reaction here key. Do we get flush in the markets here? Did take a snapshot here, selling some, covering most. Just in case it wants to let go. Beautiful. Just trying to time that, looking at the ES. So the reason for that was the ES let go of that initial balance high, let go of 900, and VIX found a bid in front of 20. So it's trading back up towards its IBL. All right, so I was having to time that to make sure. So now up about 1,400 bucks on the day off two very quick scalps. So it's super tricky, but remember I said I would take a sell here if it became obvious, because we had this move this move, they were starting to get stuck. So the target right now should be down here. I'm already out of this position just based on watching the VIX, but I will happily rejoin. If it takes this, the next level it's going to aim for is VWAP, IB low, lower time frame algorithm. They're all stacked together. I'm going to kill myself for taking that runner off now based on the VIX, but there we go. VIX now trading back upside. So the question is this level here. Right, do we dump through this level and aim down towards VWAP? There is still imbalances underneath. Notice that sell signal has come in. So once we started to roll, it needed to base here and extend high. It needed to flag there and it failed. So they got trapped here. Buyers resold here, break even, gave the flush. So this now key level for downside action. ES now crucially underneath that initial balance high. That's absolutely crucial that it stays under that if the NQ is going to have any further downside pressure. VIX low of day is 20.02. Looks like we're going to aim for this wick now. So if you're in this, partial into 92, please. Oh my gosh. Can't believe I choked that out on the VIX. Beautiful, there you go. There's your run, so there's your partial out. Hold your runners now. If it wants to attack VWAP, it will. We got there in the end, didn't we? We got something in the end. So just following this, really. I was a little earlier than that signal, but I knew it was coming. They got trapped here. Once I saw them sell this, and the VIX put in its low of day, then this became an easier sell through here for a move down. Unwinding this position now, very nice. They're unwinding their positions. So this retracement, if we think about this from a fib, got stuck right in the 61. All right, golden pocket here, old area here, became resistance. Sold into it. This was a nice trigger right here. Once it rolled, rather than selling into the top, once it rolled and it showed its hand, joining that momentum down. Yeah, Michael, yeah. The VIX had me a little spooked with how it acted there, unfortunately. Even now, it's still trading towards low of day. I would have loved to see the VIX reclaim its initial balance low, and I would still be in this right now. Same with the ES. If you look at the ES on a 5-minute, all right, it's still holding its old 5-minute pivot. It hasn't let go. So we have relative weakness in the Qs today. Amazon red on the day. Everything else is green. But yeah, that definitely had me spooked. If I was looking at the screen and I saw VIX print above 2010 and then 2015 and trading upside, and I'd seen ES start to come underneath 892, I would have been very confident to have held this trade for a full rotation. But I'm always watching at those as the market leaders right now, because they're dictating the market right now. Yeah. At least we got a piece, Michael. On days like these, I think you get a piece. It's not bad. $1,400 on the day. It's only 8 AM for me. That's fine. On days like these, I'll take it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll use the flow zone. Same thesis. I'm using 1321. But I'm watching them on 10-minute. Mainly because I've run out of real estate, screen real estate. I'm going to have to get another screen since I've started streaming. I'm basically half a screen or more down. So ES holding nicely. There's the 20 flat touch now on the VIX, right? Now trading at 20 evens. Low of day, and we're getting that bounce on the QQQ. I've got 4 screens plus bookmap, Ryan. So I've got a wide screen here, which I'm trading off. Then I've got here the NQ that you're looking at, then a 5-minute, then an hourly and a daily. And this side I've got OBS up here, YouTube here, to make sure it's streaming properly. Then I've got VIX, ES, QQQ, SPY, and Bookmap right here. Probably need one more screen just because I'm streaming. Otherwise I wouldn't need it. Don't need any more indicators or anything like that, or too many more charts. It's just the streaming taking up, you know, best part of two big wide screens. Because I've got OBS here and YouTube with the chat on here. Maybe there's a way to streamline that. But if I put the chat on OBS, it takes up so much room. Yeah, I mean, you always feel like you can do with another. It's always the way. But if you're making it work as it is, just stick with. So the same question is going to apply here. All right, they've left lots of stops. Oh, sorry. They've left lots of stops up here, I would say. Pretty flat top up here. And are they going to do a retracement to sell into? All right, so far, trying to retrace some of the imbalance into here. Can they sell down to these levels? You'll need to see weakness from the other markets for that, or you need to see ES start to want to roll over. You will need to see VIX want to put in a bounce, which is so far not. Now it's snapped 20. So even though I want to be a seller in this right now, I'm very, very cautious looking across the board. So 60-minute chart, almost rebalancing that whole 60-minute candle. It can come down to 39. That would be a full rebalance of the 60-minute candle. Looking weaker here into view up now. Zero bounce here on the VIX still. Just trading straight down. Lovely. Can they trade this into view up? Watching that 20 level on the VIX. ES looking like it might want to roll over, but it's still holding the M5 block. Just required a little bit of patience today, didn't it? Required some patience. If they're going to pull the air out the balloon here, you can see a bigger retracement. What I like is ES has definitely done a failed auction, all right? ES has failed that auction above the IBH, could not stay above there. So the high probability trade would be back to view up. ES under 91 would open the gate for that. If VIX can get a bounce here and trade back upside above 20.12, come and fill the imbalances all the way up into sort of 20.30, then the market can get weak. NQ definitely the weaker of the markets right now, which is interesting when tech has been so strong this morning. So here's view up, here's the rotation into IB low now approaching, and the lower time frame algorithm. If we let go of that, we can expect potential back test of these levels, right? Previous day high, previous day open, previous day close, high time frame algo, 5-day moving average. Lots of reasons for it to come back down there and test it. But the high probability trade was to view up, all right? So we're in an initial balance rotation. It's a shame we can get a little bit higher here for rejection down for nice RR, but so be it. ES has still not let go of its pivot low. All right, that 92s, watching the 92s there. Does it flush that down to VWAP or does it trap under? But a nice move on the Qs here. So if you manage to hold on to that, get a nice entry here, tight risk all the way down to here, runners into here. So VIX finally starting to find some bids here. Here's that break on ES we were just talking about. So do they run it back upside after washing now, or are they going to get heavy? A lower time frame algorithm, IB low, low of day New York, reasons to start covering partials into here if you're still holding some. Beautiful move. Make sure you are taking partials into these dips, okay? Take your partials into these dips. Hold the runners. We've got targets beneath. Again, previous day high if it wants to get there. Previous day open, close, higher time frame algorithm, and the 5-day. It might really want to come and revisit those. That'd be a full gap fill. You need to watch ES into VWAP as well. David, I've got no anchored VWAP on here. This is just standard VWAP through all sessions. So not a New York session VWAP, just a normal VWAP, including overnights. If you were going to run an anchor right now for intraday, I'd be thinking about anchoring to the high of day. So if you anchored to here, right, this would be your sell signal. You could probably do another one from the most recent sell. Oh, wrong one. This is where sellers are in control at these levels. So watch ES here. Be very cautious if ES wants to do a reclaim of 92 and start driving back upside with a trap. That would be my concern here on the markets, right? That would be my concern here on the markets. Because we've done a very high probability move here on the Qs already, all right? There's our IB high. Unfortunately, we didn't backtest it, but we backtested supply. Rolled over, there's the bear flag. That was my entry. That gave you another opportunity here. VWAP, IB low, those are all high probabilities. Outside of this now, we can think about trend day lower if and only if it shows a willingness to accept price underneath IBL. And then we can think about these prices down here. If it's going to go into a rotational day, it might want to soak off here, reclaim VWAP. Then we'd be looking for pivot above here, reclaim back to IB high. So far, ES looking pretty heavy underneath that 92s. Well, that's all right, Ryan. You locked money in, don't worry about it. Happens all the time. I do it all the time in my hotkeys. So the H1 has completely repriced its move, right? If you look at that higher time frame chart, look at the H1, big squeeze up, blow off top, let go, all the way back down, right down to old supply. This old supply, here's the edge of the range. Okay, so this could just be a breakout retest. Breakout retest. If they hold this range, we go again. If they fail this range, all these buyers, including swing buyers from the last 3 or 4 days in here, are going to get trapped. I think underneath 500, 450s, trapped, rotate lower. So that's the higher time frame thesis. So right now we're coming into a breakout retest area. This is where buyers, breakout buyers stepped in. SPY's got a long way to go if it's going to even consider a gap fill. As has the Q, so got a long way to go. Gap fill would be into Friday's close. Remember, we just went over it. We're in a breakout retest area on the H1. On the H1, this is old supply. Technically, it should be moving like this as an area where we might expect buyers to show back up. Yeah, I use hotkeys, Ryan. So you can set up hotkeys. So I use like Shift 1 or Shift 2, Shift 3. I use my mouse. I use my mouse if I'm placing a limit trade, if I'm waiting to get filled, or for moving my fills. But if I want to be quick in the market, I use hotkeys. So retest of VWAP here off the IB low. Remember, these are printing very, very close together. Need to be very cautious of a reclaim of VWAP and a trade upside here. So this here is the liquidity. This is where we sold down from, the back test of this. So in theory, if we're going to get short continuation, we should do this, but just be aware your IB low here. Want to see sellers come back in this place. If they don't, this is what you need to be careful of, off the rotation of IB low. But you should be sticking with the short thesis until then. But remember, higher time frame, you are into an area, a breakout retest area. You might get higher time frame buyers show up here. Hotkeys is an app. No. It's all trading platforms have it, Ryan. So you need to go into settings. I don't know if you can do it on TradingView. I'd have to check. Maybe someone else can help Ryan there. Can you have hotkeys in TradingView? No, you can have them on every other platform. But most platforms will allow it. So you just program it in. There'll be a menu in settings called hotkeys, and it would say like sell 2 at market or sell 3 at limit or whatever, and you just program what keys you want. Can even use something like a PlayStation controller linked up to your PC. So is the back test on ES. Yeah, Stream Deck's great. Stream Deck's great for hotkeys. There's lots of stuff. Even if you go on Amazon or Google it, there's loads of different interfaces you can use. Even like just a really good keyboard will have a separate section, like G keys, I think they're called. So you have G1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can just program those. So here's the bounce, retest of VWAP, retest of flow zones here. ES hasn't quite gotten to VWAP yet, and it is starting to attempt the reclaim of that old M5 block. So I would say on ES, it kind of needs to stay heavy against sort of 95 to 96.50 for a continuation of downside pressure. If it doesn't do that, be very, very cautious about a trap. Ryan, if you're doing funded account, it might have it then. Can anyone confirm if TradingView has hotkeys in chat, please? If not, TradeIFY has it, Ninja has it. Yeah, BTC doing very good, approaching 66,000 after trapping shorts in. Remember, we said the BTC is just consolidating a big flag at highs. Yeah, Top Set X definitely has it. I know Top Set X has it. Most platforms have it, Ryan. I will do some research for you and see if TradingView has it. So do we get the continuation lower? Does it get stuck somewhere? Maybe this is pivot high. Do we do something like this and take these lows for a trend down? Or do we pivot up here? Do we simply go from IB low, use liquidity, pivot up? So back test here, 95.50 now on the ES. VIX still hanging around underneath its IBL, all right? So VIX traded up to IBL and failed. Now trading back towards 20 flat. Right, so all the time VIX wants to drip lower, we expect the market to drift higher. ES quite possibly can set a trap in if it can pivot up back over 900. I like the shorts for plays lower if the ES shows some weakness. And if the VIX can start printing above the IBL, but it's nowhere near right now. So I'm just hands off. 1,500 bucks on the day. A slow day, I will take that. I'll take base hits of 1,500 bucks all day long and grind accounts out until I get payouts. No, never a rush with stuff like this. Yeah, rotation into small caps continues in the Russell. ES trading now at 96. It's trying to reclaim. So does it quasi or does it really just pivot up here? VIX is near its low of day, all right? VIX cannot get going upside here. Michael, it depends on each account. I've got different risk parameters on each account. So some of these accounts play higher risk, but I haven't played those this morning. But minimum 2 to 1. But in markets like this, I will scalp some out 1 to 1, move break even very, very aggressively. VIX approaching low of day here, underneath 20. ES looking like it wants to pivot higher. So you can't be aggressive here on the short on NQ because we're rotating from the IBL. And we're in, remember what we said on the higher time frame. Where are we? We're back testing where we broke out from. You zoom out of this area, old high, pivot high. This is the area where we kept failed to break out, failed to break out, failed to break out. Did it overnight. Of course it did it overnight. Now it's coming back into these areas. So we said we have to be cautious to see if buyers step up here. That's why I'm always preaching to zoom out on that higher time frame. Notice also on the daily, we have failed to hold a print so far above this, right? That orange squiggly line is your daily Bollinger Band. We hate being able to get above here. It happens very rarely do we hold a print above there. That would be more than 2 standard deviations on the market. The market does not like to print above 2 standard deviations. So right now, in terms of sellers, do these levels reject, right? This level right here, this block, does it basically reject is what I would be thinking about. If it doesn't, if no sellers come in here and we start to grind, you can think about this. You don't even need to join it here. You can join it later once it gets above. And what I said earlier, this level here looks like intraday stops. So I'd say this level, if we're going to get going, looks like a clear level of liquidity it might want to aim for if it can get going upside. So notice how the initial balance low and the lower time frame algo held. There was no close beneath these. Closes were upside of this. So I'd be thinking now, do I get a short setup, something like this, before I move back down to here, and I will definitely partial out into that? Or are we just going to continue upside? Are we going to grind and drift upside? VIX at a fresh low of day. So I'm not thinking about a short all the time, seeing VIX do that. Even if the market moves lower like it did this morning on the Qs and we get divergence, I'm not really interested in a short on the Qs all the time the VIX is making new lows of day. So does ES do the head and shoulder, or does it reclaim and go? The book is thin. There's nothing really on the book here. Only level we've got a half decent size order is up at 620, and that's 48 lots. So VIX going for the 20 reclaim now. I'd want to see it trade right up into its initial balance low and through it. Nothing here too short yet. From a 1 minute perspective, this is what we're doing. I expect it to go higher unless it does this. Yeah. Back into that golden zone. VIX at lower day, still at lower day, underneath 20. So a slow market here, very slow market, very low volume. We have some divergences at play in the market, both higher time frame and lower time frame right now. H1 did a really nice squeeze out this morning before coming all the way back to an area where we broke out from. So far, we have soaked off that area. We've gone wick to wick on the H1. If you look at the H1 wick at 6 a.m., we've gone wick to wick on it. So do we get a further breakdown here, or do they just re-soak off VWAP or IBL? So far we are in a range rotation day. There is no trend day here. We're in a range between these two. Right, so selling here and buying here is what pays for now. What's hard is VWAP is right here. You would love VWAP to be midpoint, so you could buy here for a rotation up. I haven't asked it yet today, but do me a favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. Slightly slower day in the market. Bank holiday in the market. Volume is low. Bonds are closed. Market is just trading inside its initial balance range after breaking out. All right, so slightly slower day, but we will get fireworks later in the week. Make sure you are subscribed to my Twitter, Flowzone Trader. You will see my thoughts on the weekly outlook. I normally post them on a Sunday. Yesterday I was expecting upside in the market Monday, Tuesday this week. Talked about that potential gap fill on the Qs, top of the Bollinger Band, maybe a slight extension, and then see what we get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I would love to see a sell-off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If we can print big highs Monday, Tuesday, it really needs to extend out Monday, Tuesday, fill all imbalances, become efficient, give people a reason to take profit, then I think maybe we get it. Especially if there's some headline news that comes out. But we have to remember we're also into earnings season now. Right? We're into earnings season, which is fun. It means this month we've got earnings season into the election with two wars going on. Fun, fun, fun. With higher prints and inflation, but a market drifting higher. Brilliant. I watched some notable, I don't know what to call them, Twitter traders holding huge puts over the weekend. They would have woken up in massive pain today. Up too high, they keep saying. Doesn't work like that. Max pain first. Make sure everyone loses. Eventually it will give a rollover when everyone is exhausted from attempting the short. Until then, drift higher. So ES banging on the door of 900 coming up. VIX still at low of day. Like I said, not interested in a short here. All the time, VIX is printing lows of day. If that starts to change, maybe I think about a short back down. But right now, we're trading above VWAP. We're trading inside the initial balance. Have to be careful. Maybe see what we do back into 600. I'm happy to get long here as well. Like I said, if it wants to reclaim these areas, this looks primed to get taken, and then we use these stops to get here. So far, same thing every day for the last few weeks, really. Breakout, retest, retests are holding. VIX trying to reclaim 20 here. Watching the ES to see if this is the lower high that goes in. It will only be confirmed by a lower low. That's the issue, and that lower low will take us right down to VWAP. I'm not in a trade right now. Waiting to see if we get a shift in structure, how the market wants to move. So far, that intraday supply that we marked out, this red box holding up for now into deep pullback, and it starting to show its hand as weakness here. So breaking below VWAP here into 64. The question now is, does it give a reason to go back short, or is this a sweep of this again to go higher? Really, I like the move under here for lower prices. VIX now starting to try and trade back up to its initial balance low. ES is still basing out though. Yes, I have had that, John. I have had that, yeah. Not as good as him on the ball, though. What a baller he was, man. What a player. Never got to see him in his time at the MLS. Would have loved to have seen him when he was out here. But I've been lucky the last few years. Got to see Inter Miami against Galaxy last year, which was great. And they had all the stars playing. I went to Arsenal Barcelona last year, Arsenal Man United this year. All out here. But what I would say is the atmosphere in the stadiums here, other than going to LAFC, which is a great atmosphere, but watching Premier League teams here, the atmosphere is so bad. No one sings any songs. I'm a diehard Arsenal fan. I was the only one singing at Arsenal Man United, getting looked like I was an idiot. Any of you big soccer fans or football fans in chat? Hopefully I've got no Spurs supporters in here. I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have. My whole family is Spurs other than me, pretty much, so it's always fun. And when I say Spurs, I mean Tottenham, not the basketball team. So trading back down to that lower time frame algo and initial balance low where we found bids come in before. That's what's going to make this really hard, is we're very, very tight in between levels, and there's no huge imbalances here. There's no big bullish pattern driving up where we're coming back and feeling confident to get long. So it's really just location wise, is there a good long here, or do they just roll it? They're really not retesting many levels before giving these moves, and they're not huge moves. Like the breakdown here, very hard to justify taking. Yes, still holding on for now. VIX still dancing around that 20 level, so still not reclaimed its initial balance low. Yeah, it's a shame. United fan, hooray. Yeah, it's a shame that the atmosphere here is no good. LAFC atmosphere has been amazing. I've been to watch a couple games with them there. Their atmosphere is incredible. Lots of South American supporters constantly singing, playing the drums. Really, really cool. Really enjoyed that. I went to see United Arsenal at the SoFi. You could hear a pin drop. It was terrible. So Candy Cane and Array, you're having a terrible year then, aren't you? If you're United fans. I think, would you, be honest, would you have preferred it if you lost the FA Cup and got rid of Ten Hag? So here's the sell now. Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame you. I think if I was a United fan, I would have preferred we lost and got rid of Ten Hag and started fresh, because you've got the same issues season after season now. So IB low approach here on the VIX. NQ approaching the low that it put in where we found buyers. So breakdown here, so it seems like this is held up, doesn't it? It didn't give any pattern here, just a straight sell. Unfortunately, it would have been really nice to grab something like that. Yeah, not improving. Yeah, it's really tough to watch your team go through that. I watched it with Arsenal for years post Wenger, even towards the end of Wenger's reign. It can get frustrating, especially when you're a big club like United. And I think if you don't improve soon, you're going to lose a lot of your players. I think Garnacho will leave. Fernandez got to leave soon, surely. Rashford. And then you're left with, I don't know, Johnny Evans. Can't believe he's playing centre-back for you. Yeah. Wild. Wild times. Do we get the continuation snap down here? Do we get it? Maybe finally they give the move lower. It would be so nice if they would just snap this lower, wouldn't it? VIX now really knocking on the door of that IBL. I've been here 5 years now. Been here 5 years. Moved here the week before COVID. That was fun. From London. So remember, we're trading into these higher time frame areas on the H1. So maybe we can trade back towards 500 here. Looking at hourly levels, 495, 515, all key levels on wicks on the hourly. Expecting buyers to come in at some point. Looking at the book. 512, so I would say 515 to 500, what we just talked about, looks like a big level. And under, there's lots and lots of buyers stacked up there. Now they might be shorts just looking to fill their book from intraday sales up here, we don't know. They could be also be higher time frame traders looking to bid back up. I would also be very aware of this. This would be gap fill, previous day high, gap fill, higher time frame algo, 5-day moving average all the way down here. Where do we have that on the ES? ES got a long way to go. Long way to go. Very, very strong on the ES. Still holding dips on the ES. You want to see 575 on the Qs. 575. So you want to see upside. You're looking for an upside move. Into this old shelf, into that imbalance. Are you looking at QQQ, Frank, or the NQ? Which one, QQQ or NQ? NQ, okay. So you're looking for this upside rotation. Yeah, still very, very strong. So this initial balance low, we still cannot get closure outside of it, all right, for the auction confirmed downside. So all we've done is sweep here and trading back inside range now. So do they slam back into this range to go back down? Or are they going to simply keep playing this initial balance rotation? It's a shame VWAP is where it is. That's the biggest problem. Again, VIX cannot reclaim its initial balance low. All right, so I lack downside thesis on the market all the time. It cannot reclaim that. So again, if you look at the NQ, it's basically trading New York session low of day, near enough. And so is the VIX. That's your divergence in the market. VIX should be trading near New York session high of day, not low of day. Like the ES. ES is trading near New York session high of day. So there is your divergence on the market. So Qs have been weak, even though tech's been strong. So while we're a bit slower here, what did you all get up to this weekend? Did you do anything fun? Did you get out and about? I spent a lot of time with my dog. I went to Soho House for Canadian Thanksgiving for a big brunch, ate a lot of food. Didn't do much else. Watched Joker 2. Was it any good? I've heard very mixed opinions. A friend of mine who's an actor here absolutely loved it. Thought Jacqueline Phoenix would win another Oscar for it. And I've seen other people saying there was far too much singing in it. Yeah, I've seen on Rotten Tomatoes it got absolutely binned. Michael, rip down some wood siding off your house. You're doing some housework. Good for you. Big family get together, perfect persistence. That's what I love to hear. In the cabin, in the mountains, again, love that. Absolutely love that. Spending time with loved ones is so important at the weekend. Went to the beach, weather just warming up, lovely. Yeah, it was a bit nicer in Los Angeles this weekend. It's been very cloudy. Even today looks a bit cloudy, but we were sort of like early to mid 80s most of the weekend, which was nice. Very nice. Good work, Marek. Went to your cousin's 21st. She's moving to Dubai next month, and then you recorded your podcast. Nice, Ryan. Pumpkin picking. Never done that. Never done that, I must say. Sounds like a good laugh to do with friends and family. Yeah, that was my stomach growling. I've not eaten yet. You heard it. I love that, South Cat Dad. I got to turn the threshold on the mic down, haven't I? It's my stomach growling. All I've had so far is a coffee and a water. I am hungry. Survived Hurricane Milton. Very sad what happened over there. I had a friend in Tampa whose house survived. His garage got hit by a tree, but then his driveway, he got up or came back to his house the next day, it has a sinkhole in it. A giant sinkhole in his driveway and front yard. Yeah, I'm going to get some food shortly. I'll probably finish the stream in a bit, so I'll last till then. Then I'll make some food, go for a lift. So VIX, new low of day. This is what is tricky with this market right now. VIX is on that low of day shelf, 1998. ES looks like it has held on after reclaiming its pivot low, and it's just doing a dance right now. We're trading inside range. Oh, Frank, don't. You're killing me. The problem is I have to get up at 5:30 a.m. and have to be considerate of my wife asleep next door, and I can't be banging around and making food, so end up not eating really, or doing anything until after I get off stream. Rob Drag, everyone hit that like button. Everyone listen to Rob Drag, he knows. Appreciate it. Thank you, Rob. Everyone hit that like button. Let's get this stream moving the next few weeks, guys. Let's get some good people in this stream who are maybe struggling to trade or trading with other people who aren't really teaching them everything. I try and teach as I go in this stream. I try and be patient. Sorry, Rob. I don't set the rules on Nightbot, so I don't know why it's done that. You're probably being nice. You're probably just supporting and Nightbot's kicking off. So I have to be careful of this W pattern. This is still the supply. All right, found sellers there. Does it do a W pattern, pivot above and go? Again, I struggle to think about short, same as I did here, even though I like this move, even this move potential, but looking at VIX, don't really like the short with VIX at low of day. And ES looks like it wants to pivot higher. Not really, Ryan. Not really. I mean, you could, if you're going to play initial balance, the problem is VWAP's only here, right? So the target's not very big. I would rather see this to think about going long. I know it's later, but then I know I've got confirmation. If we do this here, chances are ES will break out of high of day and all-time highs at the same time, and VIX will probably snap very, very big downside. There is an imbalance here that we've just put in right here though. So if we hold that potentially, but structure-wise isn't bullish. That's the high that made this low. So this is still potentially lower prices from a structural point of view, which is what's making it tricky. Same with the M5. M5 structurally is still lower prices, but the VIX is not saying lower prices and ES is not saying lower prices. But technically we are still in a sell. Right, here's your pattern. Sell, sell, sell. trap high, sell, sell. Technically, this is what you would expect until above here. All right, lower time frame, sell. The issue is where we are in the chart. Where we are in the chart. High time frame, we're in breakout retest area. We went wick to wick right here. See this wick right here? Wick to wick. Filled all imbalances till 6 a.m. Lower time frame, don't really want to be selling here. I want it to show me that it wants to come and do the gap fill. Very hard when ES is doing what it's doing and VIX is doing what it's doing. And if you look at these candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes of like nothing going on here and a lot of indecision. And if I add a volume indicator, I'm sure it's going to be very low. Let's do Sati's one. All right, volume almost gone. Downtrending volume. Oh, Mitch, you checked Google as what teachable? I didn't, sorry. Do you want me to check that now? Apologies, totally forgot to do that. Or did you get an answer? Ah, you can do it. Yeah, so you can learn offline using the iOS app. So if you get the app, rather than go on the website and log in, you'll be able to do it offline. There you go, Mitch. So if you put it on an iPad, or I guess even download the app on, I don't know what you're using, PC or Mac, you'll be able to do it. No worries. Yeah, that's good for me to know as well. That's great. So we still expect lower prices here from a technical point of view, but we're into higher time frame levels down here. Pretty much have equal lows down here, so these might want to get run right here, especially if ES is going to trade back towards view up. But VIX, again, low of day. It makes this very, very hard, team. Very, very hard. Major, major divergences in the market here. Very, very low volume. ATR's ticked right down per candle now. Sort of six points on average for a while now. When we're at highs today, we're printing at 20 points per candle ATR. So there's a dump here on the VIX. VIX new low of day here. Very, very slow day. Basically trading in about 150 points range today. Squeeze up, sell down. We zoom out here, we can think about what might trigger something later. Something like this, all right, for a squeeze up, It's kind of what we're building. If we're going to do a rotation, maybe this can be a sell down into here. It'd be a very nice move if it's able to do that. But like I keep talking about, ES is showing very good strength, and the VIX looks very reluctant to move upside today. So I'll stick with you another 15-20 minutes here. Locking in about $1,500 on the day. I wasn't expecting much today. I said to my Discord, I didn't even expect to get a trade today when I came to the table. I was looking for longs and we weren't, well, for me, it wasn't offering a long that I wanted, not in a position I wanted. If we'd opened the day near where we are now, it would have been much better for me. It's not fresh now, so I'm going to delete it. Definitely tapering here. If you look, we're definitely starting to taper across here. If we start to reclaim, this at least looks like a level it can drive up to. ES looks like it's putting that trap low in towards 89.50 and a potential flag here. I'm looking at a 5-minute chart for a potential breakout into IB high. Above IB high opens the door for new all-time highs for a trend. If it fails IB high, we're just going to stay inside of range. VIX just drifting lower here. Now 1989, coming into an old wick at 1985 beneath that. Can go all the way down for a gap fill at 1920. Market will move upside if we do that. Just all range is now gone. Range currently now basically from 87 towards these wicks of 27, so call it 30. So about 60-point range currently on an M5, M15, that's what you're looking at. Do they open this up now and let it through? It's a question. So this high created this low. This is potential pivot territory. Held this area down here where we found buyers. So traded away from, back to, away from, does it trade back to, and then target this. Getting close to lunch now as well. All right, you're getting close to lunch. ES approaching that 900 mark. Now that whole number, the psychological number on the ES. VIX still at its low of day. So consider more upside prices here potentially happening, which is why I was very cautious about any shorts on the Qs. Especially if ES gets through that 900, that psychological number, then it can trade back up towards its initial balance high, run the stops, and potentially trade higher. And we've got a new hourly bar coming in 8 minutes, and that would be the start of lunch session. Another 900 reject. Keeps tapping on the door. Watching to see if the market wants to start a squeeze here or if it needs to come deeper first. Yeah, it's looking good. It needs to get through that 900 though. If it can't get through 900, it's got no chance. We can just build out a higher time frame sort of flag for this cup, right? So it's very tricky right now. Looking across the markets again, VIX still at that low of day. Would love to see ES just get going here with the VIX flushing into new low of day and gap underneath this old wick high on an hourly at 86. VIX can flush that and ES can break above 900. Maybe the Qs can move up to this level here, which would be really nice. If not, we're just going to chop inside. And like I said, you have to be really aware if they're just building liquidity to come and do a gap fill down here. So again, approaching that 900 for a test. Love to see a squeeze out here. 99s here. Don't want to see them slam it. Want to see them let it through. Very, very tight. So come back in as sellers again, one more time. New low of day on the VIX. 99 approach again here on the ES. Again, volume is very low, but I would like to see this squeeze back upside right now. VIX is at low of day. Qs are rotating off the IBL for a rotational play above VWAP. I would like to see ES get through 900 for a potential squeeze. If they keep coming in there, it's not going to make it possible. If the sellers keep re-attacking 900, it's not going to make it possible. It's intraday supply, so maybe they pinned it and said that's enough for today. There was a seller on the book at 600 and he's lifted. He was thick there. He's lifted and put a bit more on. So we'll see if they can drag it up towards that now. This is looking a bit better. Here we go. 99.25. New lower day on the VIX. Still in front of that 900 mark on the ES. 2 ticks away now. 1 minute until a new hourly bar. Cannot do it. Keeps trying. Here we go. Can we get going here? 1 tick away. So maybe a drive into the new hourly bar here. Looking for this long, if it can play out. Basing above here very, very nicely. This is looking better. Here's the 900 break, right on it right now. Just want a straight squeeze up here, don't want to faff around too long into this new hourly bar, just want it to get moving. Don't want a sweep of 86 and a fail. So tapping on that IBH there, taking the rest off break even here if it comes back in. I'll be back. Oh, no way, that just whipped me out before going on the runner. I moved it tighter because I was leaving the desk. Ay. So be it, so be it. All right, so that squeeze up looking good now. So we reclaimed view up right here, held the IB low, swept this, dunk that in, reclaim, breaking trend. Easy target now should be up here. If it can get going, it should want to come and retest this kind of level. So this is playing out now. Just had to wait for it to play out. But this is why I didn't like the shorts down here. If you look at the VIX, it's trading low of day. If you're looking at ES, it's trading high of day. All right, so we had divergence in the market. ES looks pretty good here for if it can continue above high of day and hold above the IB high. I expect higher prices, Scotty. It's consolidated a long time here, and on a 5-minute chart, that 891.50, we wicked beneath it, reclaimed, and have started to curl. So there's a lot of volume up here, and I would say volume right now is short, and they're about to get trapped, I would think, for an upside squeeze. That'd be my read on this, which is why I was looking for a long move back into here. So if you took it long, it's a partial out into here, into previous highs and IBH, and then it's holding runners now. And there's not many reasons to be a seller in this market right now. There's no overhead supply. So looking good here. Really simply, I'll try and drag this in so you can see it. That's what I was looking at on the ES. All right, so sweep of this level here, reclaim, quasi, flag, go, higher day, IB high, base. If it can base, it can go further up towards 20. In terms of a fib now, if we go from high of day to that swing low, the 161 and the measured move. So basically 15 and 20 whole numbers in sight. So it all makes sense for potential upside if it can base over the IBH. This level here, again, still key. It's where we broke down from this. So this can be giant range. Maybe this for upside would be lovely, but now you're into lunch. So if you thought it was low volume before, it's even less volume now. I caught that trade though. That's very frustrating. For some reason it didn't copy. That's just cost me cost me $1,400 there for not copying. So VIX still printing lower days here. ES back to that old IBH. No new higher day yet, just a double top for now. We have to see how it acts here. Again, we're into lunch now, makes it very tricky. We also have this And down here we did sweep it just, but a relative equal lows, not by a lot. But remember, we are trading inside range, so expecting rotation, maybe to like midpoint, maybe retest, reclaim it, maybe through here. Then I would say IB high for sure. I'll give it another 5 minutes here, folks. I'm probably done for the day though. 3 small scalps, 3 wins, 1 that didn't copy for some reason. Probably didn't get filled on the limit without me knowing. I only got 1 account on it. Important to remember where you are on these higher time frames, right? We're trading off back testing breakout areas with a maximum potential for now of this orange line, all right, which we tapped this morning. That's your 2 standard deviation. Potential gap fill up to this area here. 690 maybe next. Got very, very close. Through that we could go up to the close of this candle. Dips holding for now, as expected. For me, drawn liquidity is right here intraday. So before you all leave, please hammer that like and subscribe button. I know it's been a slower, calmer day today. At least we've got some winners, locked them in, moved on. Not much range to play with right now. Range and volumes really tightened up. At least we got some winners and we've moved on for the day. It's all that matters. Not every day is going to be an absolute banger. And this right here was nice and simple, wasn't it? Really simple here. Above this trend line, after the buy signal with flow zones. TP1 should be here if it can get it, and then we're looking for up here, maybe even midpoint of this range where sellers came in. If we get through this, I really just expect us to take out the IB high. Trying to see who's on the book, because seller at 650, then they're stacking offers up to 690, not huge, 700, 750, 775, but nothing huge there, no like 100 lots or anything like that, but 650 is decent. There's about 120 spread around there, which would be this stop run up here. Right, this level here, that's where all their stops are. So if the market can get there, it would love to take it, I'm sure. That's going to be it for me, team. Slow day, but at least we lock some money in and we move in and we move on even, and we go again tomorrow. There'll be more volume in the market tomorrow. Remember, we're into earnings season, but I expect Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week to be really, really good. I'd love to see us extend the range up today and tomorrow and make it really, really nice for the back end of the week. Really, really nice, which is what I would like to see. Don't forget, follow me on Twitter or on X. You always get an insight into what I'm looking for the week. For those of you who sort of join here a bit later or not in the room. If you want to join the room, if you want to get the indicator, if you want to do the course, one-time fee, links down below. $399 with code YouTube. That sale will probably end the end of this month. And I will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Everyone else, I'll see you in the room later in the day. All right, peace out. And as always, use hard stops. Use hard stops. Catch you soon.